The NFL Week 12 kicks off this week. We're right here on What's Your Fantasy Football, and we got your top waiver wire ads. Make sure you stick around right after the intro, baby. What's going on, football world? It's your host, the WayneBreezie, Crystal Peachy B, in the place to be, and welcome to What's Your Fantasy, the fantasy football show. I'm excited because we got Week 12 underway, right? And not only that, it's the last week of the buys, and then fantasy football playoffs, kind of like get ready. I think you have 2 more weeks, maybe a week or two.
Yeah,
week 14,
I think it starts in week 14. Yes.
Yeah, and so then you get ready for the fantasy football playoffs, and if you find yourself in the playoffs, now it's all about the matchups. And Peachy, the way I look at it is, get in and win. Like, it don't matter how you get in, find a way in and you'll win. Like, what are your thoughts on that? I feel like that's how our football team is playing right now in real life. Like, you know.
No, I 100% agree with you. I have literally gotten in over the last couple of years by the skin of my teeth and wound up winning. So once you get in the playoffs, it starts all over. It's a new kind of like a new beginning when it comes to fantasy. You just got to get in the playoffs.
Just got to get in, guys.
Then, like Breezie said, it's just all about your matchups from there.
Yeah, I'm hoping you guys learned something this season by paying attention. The reason why we're doing a waiver wire show is because the waiver wire is the most important part about fantasy football. It's not about the draft. Drafting is going to give you a grade. Players are going to get injured, and the question is, how do you respond after these certain types of injuries? How do you play your IR? I'm in a league where there's no IR spots. And so
that's wild.
Yes. And so if a player is not destined or to be out for the season, you can't let him go. Or you can, but then you're going to lose him. Because somebody is going to be like, well, I know this person's coming back week 12, week 14, and then you shit out of luck. And so you got to be careful like how you manage everything. Peach, I wanted to start off the show with some breaking news. Joe Douglas, the general manager of the New York Jets, has been fired. They said part ways, but that means fired. The Jets are a trash can, and I'm asking you this question, and you can answer as quickly as possible, but does this affect their team as of right now as far as fantasy? Like, this is what happens to the team? They already fired the coach.
Right. No, this doesn't do anything because, as we know, the GM is just in charge of bringing in players. It would affect more of, like, you know, if there was a draft that was on its way or whatever, or if it, you know, wasn't already, like, the trade deadline hadn't passed, you know, things like that. So now GMs ain't doing nothing. They're just, you know, sitting around. They might venture out to some of the college games and kind of do whatever. But as far as what goes on in the team activities, they don't have anything to really do with that right now. So the Jets are trash. They're going to stay trash. And hopefully they'll make the right decision. And since they're going to be able to draft a quarterback that they really can use and let Aaron go on about his merry way.
All righty. Well, that's just the breaking news in the NFL. We're going to get to the fantasy football injury report. Peachy's about to break this down, but there is a player on there that will be out for the remainder of the season. Yeah. Wide receiver Gabe Davis from the Jacksonville Jaguars, and who are on their bye week this week, if I'm not mistaken. So yes. Let's talk about that. Let's get to the injury report, Peachy. What you got?
All right. The injury report is actually surprisingly kind of short, and I think it's because there's so many teams that are on a bye week this week that we're just going to focus on the ones that are affected by right now. So a welcome back for Jonathan Brooks in Carolina and Adam Thielen.
All right.
So that might give you two to look at since there's so many teams on a bye. You're going to need, some people, if it's empty like mine was when I went in that trying to stuff. Tajay Spears is doubtful for week 12 because of the concussion that he suffered.
Okay.
Alexander Madison has a bad ankle sprain, and Zamir White has a quad injury. So running backs in the Raiders are in bad. They're in bad shape. Miles Sanders ankle, he has already been ruled out for week 12. Marshawn Lloyd just came back off IR, and the dude now has appendicitis. Yeah. So he's back out, and they're going to have to put him back on the IR again, because we know that takes a while to heal from that. And then we already talked about Gabe Davis. 49ers tight end George Kittle. Hammy, wonderful that he's expected to practice tomorrow. Thank goodness, because we need him facing Green Bay. So we definitely need that. And also, that's one less tight end that you have to scrounge to try to find, what you need to find out. But that's your injury report.
All right, man. That's the injury report headed into week 12. So listen, man, I hope you guys paid attention to some of these players that may not play. The doubtful players more than likely won't play. Pay attention to the guys and pay attention to the comment section, because as guys become available, I will be updating, saying if they're going to be good to go or whatnot. So make sure you pay attention to that in the comment section of this show. Speaking of that, make sure you hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, it's your first time watching, thank you. And please hit that subscribe button. And you can also share this joint in any of your NFL groups, man. If you're in NFL groups, you like fantasy football, you guys like fantasy football, hey, check out this brother and sisters fantasy football show. They get it in. They're funny. They're good looking. They're smart. And they just full of energy, and they get down to the nitty gritty. I think that's what we do here. Like, the show's not long, so make sure you go ahead, and check that out. I didn't even drink anything carbonated, and I'm burping. It's crazy. Let's get to the top 10 scoring leaders of week 11. All right, tight end Taysom Hill put up 42.5 points. Now the Saints are on their bye week this week, but I mean, hey, if you feel like living out on the edge with Taysom Hill getting you 42.5 points. How you feel about that, Peachy? Because, it's good if you got him, but nobody plays him because it's inconsistent.
Like Bon Jovi said, living on the edge.
Straight up. Straight up.
And you're really living
and like
on
Bon
the
Jovi
edge.
said, you may be living on a prayer, because the next time you put him in, you're going to need that prayer.
Right. Wow. The biggest shock has to be Taysom Hill. Like that literally is the big shock. But like Breezie said, man, you don't know if that's going to happen again. They're on a bye week. Nobody knows when they come out of the bye week what's going to happen. I would really be wary of making Taysom Hill your number one tight end. Now, if you want to put him in your flex spot, then you do what you do. If you have that, if you have that WRT flex spot and you want to do that. But other than that, man, I would be so wary to do that, because you don't know what the Saints are doing.
Here's the thing about Taysom Hill, Peach. He's a wild card to where he could pass, throw, and catch.
That's right.
Oh, and run. Well, pass and throw is the same thing. So he could pass, throw, catch, and run. And around the goal line, he seems to be the guy. I damn you, because I need those to go to Alvin Kamara. Like, the more he's used, the more I'm hurting.
Yeah.
So, Taysom Hill, I hope that was the best game of your life and it doesn't happen again, because you just don't know how they're going to use him. But they needed a spark, and they got the dub. Number 2, Amon-Ra, wide receiver from the Detroit Lions. Amon-Ra St. Brown put up 38.7 points. Number 3, running back Joe Mixon. I was fucking winning. I was winning. And I went to sleep like I'm going to win this week. And I woke up, and this motherfucker put up 35.3 points. They had one job.
Yeah.
Take away Joe.
Right.
And you play the Cowboys. You just had to take away Joe. I lost.
Honestly, my advice is anyone who plays Dallas,
start them. Start them all.
Start them.
Start them all.
They're done. They are done. They let
Cooked.
Joe Mixon dominate, like
Well, I'm
just
not.
run all over them.
Hold up, Peachy. We can't say it like he a scrub. I keep saying that Joe. The way you said that came off like he a scrub. He's not a scrub. He is a second tier version of a Christian McCaffrey.
Yes.
Healthy.
Right.
I feel like it's Christian McCaffrey. It's Jahmyr Gibbs.
Mm-hmm.
No disrespect to my man Saquon, but Jahmyr a little different. If they utilize him properly, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Then it's Saquon. That's tier 1. Then I think Josh Jacobs, Joe Mixon, tier 2. As far as the type of running backs in fantasy football, it's Christian McCaffrey. That's what I'm trying to say. As far as the pass catcher, Derrick Henry is the number 1 running back in fantasy football right now.
Yeah.
But
And
that's
then
because he
we
runs
literally
over
can't
everybody.
leave out David Montgomery.
Not the same type of running back. That's why.
true.
That's why I said there's tiers.
Yeah.
The pass catching, running.
I got you. Yeah.
David Montgomery is ground and pound. He's in the Derrick Henry category. He's going to get you touchdowns too around the goal line. They're not giving it to Jahmyr Gibbs, but that's just my take. Speaking of number 4 in the Lions, Jared Goff, 34.6. So the Lions led in receiving, and they put up 52 points. They led in receiving, and they led in passing as far as quarterback. Number 5, we were just talking about Saquon Barkley with the Eagles, who was the number 1 running back on Thursday night, right? And then he just, right? Joe Mixon said, "Not my block." All right. Number 6, tight end Brock Bowers, 31.3 points. First of all, Brock Bowers is the number 1 fantasy football tight end. Next week, we're going to go through the top of each position after week 12 because everybody will be off their bye week. So you could just see if you draft it well. George Kittle's number 2. Had George Kittle play last week, it might have been a little bit closer, but it looks like he's got a little 14-point lead on George Kittle. Number 7 is Breece Hall, running back from the Jets. He's on a bye. We'll talk about the bye week guys. Number 8, T. Higgins. Wait a minute. So T. Higgins finally comes back and no more Jamar Chase. Like, help me out.
That's what I'm saying. Not happy. I was not happy at all.
I know, because you got your Jamar Chase
I
week.
know.
I'm so glad I ain't play you that week. Woo, Jesus. I was like, nah, please don't let me say I played her because she about to bust my behind. And I think you got Burrow too. So I'm like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
No. But it wasn't me. You did some damage to somebody else. But listen, it's funny because the 8 and 9, we're talking about T. Higgins and Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow and T. Higgins and Jamar Chase are dynamic. You know what's wrong with them? You know what? This ain't that show, PG. This is not that show. But you see how dynamic they are? Guess what they keep doing? Answer my question.
Losing.
Oh. So,
But why are they losing?
because they can't find ways to win the games. Sounds familiar, right?
That's right. It sounds very familiar. And not to mention the biggest mistake that the Cincinnati Bengals made, and it's going to keep on being a mistake, is moving on from Joe Mixon.
They couldn't pay him.
I know.
They had to
Mistake.
get cheaper somewhere because, and I get you, it's a mistake, but they couldn't pay him, Peachy, because they gotta pay Jamar Chase.
Yeah, I got you.
Gotta pay, and you got Higgins on a tag, and so this might be Higgins' last year there because they're not winning.
Yeah.
You know, but Higgins been injured all but one game, so it is what it is. Number 10, who is number 10? Who is number 10? Can't see who number 10 is. Hold on. It's coming around. Once it scrolls around, I'll be able to see who number 10 is. All right.
It has to be the quarterback that we told
Bo
people
Nix.
about.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm gonna puff our chest out
This is-
because we told you guys about him last week.
I got a dope idea. I'm gonna run it by you.
Okay.
It's a dope ass idea. Bo Nix put up 28.8 points, and we'll get off the top 10 scoring leaders and get to the waiver wire. Here are the teams with the bye. Why I come up with this. Now, if we see this, we know right here on What's Your Fantasy Week 12 top waiver wire ads, they were watching.
Yes.
I'm still burping and I ain't drinking nothing carbonated. You ready?
What?
I want to see Bo Nix do a commercial with Bo Jackson, Spike Lee on a new Bo nose,
Oh my God. Yes.
and he passes like the torch to Bo Nix out of Denver. That would be fire.
That's awesome.
Now, if we see it,
Right. We're going to know that right here. We're going to know.
Just saying. Here are the bye weeks. Peachy, these teams are on a bye. You want to go through them real quick?
Sure. So we have the Atlanta Falcons,
Bark.
Buffalo Bills,
Boo.
Cincinnati Bengals,
Uh-huh.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Wait,
New
no.
Orleans.
No. Go back. Say that again.
I'm sorry. Jacksonville Jaguars.
Meow.
That's what they are right now. Right now, they actually are slated to have the number 1 pick in next year's draft.
So they're going to draft
Travis Hunter. Welcome to Jacksonville.
No. Well, they already got Trevor Lawrence. Okay,
Right.
that makes sense. Yep.
No. Travis Hunter.
No, because they got Trevor Lawrence, so they don't need a quarterback. I'm thinking Sanders is the quarterback.
Oh, right. Got you.
Yeah. I would say draft Sanders, but that's me.
Got you. New Orleans Saints and the New York Jets.
I didn't have nothing for the Saints, but who that? And the New York Football Jets. Hold on. Watch this.
That's beautiful. Sorry, Jets fans.
Oh man, I didn't even practice that. This was not practice. Okay, this is all ad libs. It's an ad lib show.
I love that. Sorry, Jets fans, but that's just how it goes.
It's just how it goes. Let's get to these waiver wire pickup must adds for week 12 on What's Your Fantasy. Number one, look, this is the last time I'm going to say it. After this, if you don't pick up Bo Nix, it's on you. If you got a quarterback and you want to play matchups, whatever, Bo Nix this week, he has to play a tough defense. I think they got I was about to say San Diego, but I think they got the Chargers. Am I wrong? Am I right? Nope, they don't got the Chargers. Chargers on Monday night. The Denver Broncos, they got the Raiders. I know it's a divisional game, but you better get Bo Nix.
I love Bo Nix in this game against the Raiders. Absolutely.
Yeah. Pick up Bo Nix if you got a quarter. If you need a quarterback. Some other guys you might want to get, Peachy. Jameis Winston. I mean, he's gonna throw the ball down the field. They're gonna lose, but he's gonna get you points. I think he got about 19. Here's a new name to the waiver. Now, running backs are scarce. I'm telling you right now. You know, I think next season in my draft, I'm drafting nothing but running backs, and I'll live on the waiver wire for wide receivers.
I'm at least gonna have about like 5 or 6.
I'm going
backs.
6. I'm going 6.
Wow.
And Cat's gonna have to trade for me. I don't care about a fantasy football grade, because I'm understanding how football works now.
Yeah.
And so Roschon Johnson, he put up double-digit points, 10.1 points. They're up in his carries there. DeAndre Swift will still be the big explosive play guy, but they're looking with the new offense. They're looking to ground and pound and whatever. And so this might be a kid you want to pick up from the Chicago Bears. The other running back, Cam Akers, they're giving him the ball around the goal line. He was able to get in. He put up 9.6 points last week. I believe the Vikings have this week. They are playing they're playing the Chicago Bears. Go figure. Yep, pick up both of these motherfuckers and let them go at it.
Exactly.
That's what you do. You're going to need a running back. So Cam Akers, he got a touchdown last week around the goal line. I think the Vikings defense is going to be pretty daggone good. But the Bears didn't look bad last week. They came out fighting. They definitely came out fighting. So those are your running backs this week on the waiver wire. Peachy, let's talk about these wide receivers. I'm going to let you talk about Jerry Jeudy. He's coming. He's coming alive.
Wow. When I watched this on the Red Zone, I was like, what am I watching right here? Every time you turn around, Jerry Jeudy has got the ball balling. That's who Jameis' target is. That's who he's looking for. And it seems to be pretty easy to have him open because I didn't see very many contested ones on Jerry Jeudy. I don't know who the Browns have this week, but I tell you what, I definitely am looking at Jerry Jeudy. So that might be one that you guys want to pay close attention to as well. And it looks like, this is a Thursday night football game. This is the Steelers.
Who's gonna be a tough matchup? But you know what?
It
It's
is.
It's a divisional game,
Right. And you never know how those go. Those go so weird.
You never know how they're gonna go. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if you don't pick up Jerry Jeudy, you better have the other guy. Is it Cedric Tillman? One of these motherfuckers you better have in your lineup.
One of them. Yep.
Pick up one of them. The Steelers, secondary, they're good, but they give up points. And here's the thing: if he's going to throw this ball down the field, and if the Browns are able to score touchdowns,
cha-ching.
wait, I got that too. If the Browns are able to score touchdowns, and the reason why I'm saying this is because Pittsburgh cannot. How in the hell? Hold up.
What the hell is that shit?
How are they 8-2 and they can't score touchdowns?
Right. It's crazy. It's really crazy.
It is what it is.
Yes.
Here's a guy that might be on people's waiver wires because he just got back off of suspension. First game off of suspension, comes out, puts up 18.6 points, helps his team win. Peachy, what's good with Jameson Williams? Because you know what I did? I drafted him, and I cut him.
And this is a great week to have Jameson because they're playing the Colts.
The Colts.
I can see a lot of opportunity for Jameson this week. So I think this is a great player to pick up off the waiver wire. And since there are so many teams that are on a bye and a lot of them have really good wide receivers, you know that you're going to need one. So
I like this because it's not him being a wide receiver. I think people were missing out the fact that they'll use him out of the backfield.
Right.
He'll run the ball. He can run for 6. He can catch for 6. He can and he might not be highly targeted, but if he's getting yards and putting up points, he's going to score. So those are your 2 wide receivers. Tight end Jonnu Smith. I told you about him 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
And man, he saved Tua's career. This guy is saving Tua's career. I know the New England Patriots is pissed that they let him go.
Yeah.
And I mean pissed. Miami this week has to play against the Dolphins. They got the Patriots.
Oh.
The Patriots are coming into town.
Yeah, I like this as Jonnu Smith revenge game. I think that Jonnu feels like that a lot of people gave up on him way too early. I actually took our advice and I picked up Jonnu Smith.
So did I.
We talked about him.
Sure enough did.
And he proved me right. So I'm so glad that I did that. So there are a lot of tight ends on bye this week. If you can catch him and he's still there, then I would definitely pick him up.
I want to thank whoever doesn't watch the show in one of my leagues because Sam Laporta messed me up.
Yeah.
And so he decided he wasn't going to play, and I had to do some wheeling and dealing. I had to cut Brian Robinson for some reason because he was on my IR and I never took him off the IR list and he was stuck. So I had to release him in order to pick up a tight end to put on my team. And he was just sitting there in the waiver wire pool. And thank you, because I won that week. But now I got to go back and get my man Brian Robinson. That's my running back. Right. So hopefully I could get him. I was trying to get him early this morning. They wouldn't let him. Some error. I'm like,
let him go. Yeah.
Like what? Nah, that's my guy. Yeah. Let me have my guy. All right. So that's the tight end flex. Titans, they got one guy. If they not running the ball, this is the guy. Nick Westbrook, Icon. I think that's how you say his name. 17.7 points. Got 3 wide receivers on this list. You better grab one of these suckers. Will Levis is going to look to get the ball down the field. The Titans are playing.
The Titans have
Texans. Oh, godly Jesus. All I'm saying is, if he can slip through the crevice of that secondary and Will Levis chucks the ball down the field, he's going to get you a big gain. I don't care if it's one catch for 80 yards and a touchdown, that's 14 points. So if you're looking for some relief points, because you got, like Peachy says, you got a lot of wide receivers that you got to find. Like Peachy, it got rough for me. I never thought that it would get rough because I had a lot of players out this week, and I didn't realize that there were 6 teams on a bye week this week. I had to cut Brian Thomas.
Yeah.
But he's on a bye, and I had to let him go. And it's just like, hopefully I could get him back. Or hopefully I don't need him back. We'll see what happens.
Right.
Kicker Chris Boswell, 24 points for the kicker. He's going to get air horns for that. He got to be the best kicker in fantasy football right now.
And again, I want to thank you, Breeze, because your fantasy advice that you gave about kickers and how just
only two.
Swap them out, swap
Three.
them out. If you can't get these and you can't get that and whatever. And the crazy thing is that a lot of kickers are not even performing that well this year.
They're not.
And I switched out mine and got Boswell. He actually won me a league because I was losing by a few points, and then Boswell came out and saved my lineup. So thank you very much for that, Chris.
Listen, that's what friends are for. The good times, the bad times. All right, now seriously, because look, I realize there's 3 kickers. 3. It used to be 4.
Right.
Justin Tucker is ass. Now, he's done. I think he should retire. Now, you got Harrison Bucker. He on the IR. What you gonna do? But Fairburn, wherever his damn name is, he good.
Yeah.
He number 1. That's Houston's kicker. I mean, the Houston's kicker, right? Whatever you said his name was. And then, who's the other guy? Oh, Dallas kicker. And they ain't gonna get no more opportunities. What you gonna do? Dallas ain't even.
Aubrey.
Yeah,
Brandon Aubrey.
Aubrey.
Yes.
He was the kicker because all Dallas got to do is get the ball within the 60-yard range. They're gonna attempt the field goal. Well, he got one last night.
Yep, he did.
Who scored for Dallas too, by the way?
Oh wow, I think CD did, if I'm not mistaken.
That bum thought he was hurt. Made me pick up freaking beat up ass Amari Cooper, and now I'm mad. See, you can tell I'm mad. All right, you can tell I'm mad. All right, before we get to the must starts and the sits, we got one more defense. The Giants are starting Tommy Sandwiches. What is his name? Tommy. I forgot what the nickname was though.
Tommy DeVito.
That's not what they call him. It's like Tommy Knuckles, Tommy something. Anyway.
Oh yeah,
Tommy Pickles, something.
Yeah.
I
can't remember either, but I know what you're talking about. But yes, they're going with DeVito for the rest of the season.
We forgot to talk about that as breaking news. Oh,
we sure
snap.
did.
Yep. I'm about to say Eli Manning. Sorry, Eli. You were nowhere near this bad. You were 2-time Super Bowl champion, sir. My apologies. My apologies. Daniel Jones has been benched for the career. Like, literally. And we're not even talking bench. We're talking emergency third-string quarterback benched. Like, it's DeVito. It's, what's the other guy?
Drew Lock.
Drew Lock. And then it's him. Interesting. All right. So I'm taking, you got 2 choices. You start the Bucs defense versus the Giants, or you start the Commanders defense versus the Cowboys. Pick your poison.
Right.
Yeah.
Whoever. My correction though, Kayvon Turpin scored the touchdown.
Okay,
not
good.
CeeDee Lamb.
Good.
CeeDee Lamb just had 93 yards. He did not score a touchdown. Cooper Rush threw 1 touchdown, and that was to Kayvon Turpin. And that's all she wrote in this game. As
Still
the score
got
was
90
34
points.
to 10.
That's what you're saying. He still gave up 90 points. How many catches did he have?
He had 8.
Damn, he had 17 points. He's on my bench for Amari Cooper because he said he didn't know he was going to play. I couldn't take that chance.
Exactly. Yeah.
I could not take that chance.
Okay.
All right, guys. Any sleeper picks? My sleeper pick to start this week. No, any sleeper pick. I don't have any sleeper picks. We had week 12. No sleeper picks for me. You got any?
Oh man, I can't even think of anybody right off the top of my head. I will say that I had my starter like right here and said I would definitely start Justin Herbert this week.
That's an interesting one. See, that one was a little scary to me. I know they play in Baltimore. That's a tough one though, because Baltimore is coming off of a loss, right?
Yeah, but Baltimore's defense.
It is. The passing defense is a little bit suspect.
Right. It's very suspect.
But if they take away J.K. Dobbins and force them
Right.
to pass, it could be a problem. But I like it. I'm not gonna. That's your must start. My must start is Baker Mayfield versus the motherfucking Giants.
Oh,
I'm
yes.
I'm starting Baker. I don't care who he throwing the ball to.
Right.
I think he's gonna cook. I think he's mad. He lost to the Niners. And I think he comes out and cook. And there's a possibility, one more week, Mike Evans will be back. So we'll see what's good. Keep your ears open to the streets about Mike Evans coming off of IR very shortly.
Here's something that is interesting. They say to sit Jordan Love against the Niners.
Abso-freaking-lutely. That makes perfect sense.
That's what they say. They said that this literally said this. I'm not paraphrasing. It said that even though the 49ers defense has leaky holes, they are still pretty good in getting pressure, which will make it tough for Love to produce in fantasy. They expect Love's fantasy points to be very low this week.
Make sure you guys go to my Patreon page. The defensive film is going to be up.
Yep.
It was a lot of pressure in that game. Unfortunately, the pressure broke down the lanes, and they allowed a mobile quarterback to do their thing. Jordan Love may not be as mobile as the other guys, so that's probably why. He's going to have to make plays with his feet, and I don't think that's who he is as a quarterback. Plus, he's dealing with these injuries.
Yes.
Must sit, though. Sit the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys against the Washington Commanders. Don't start Cooper Rush.
100%.
Some people have to start Cooper Rush. Like, so you're in the league and you had to pick him up. Like, I had to pick up Gardner Minshew.
Ooh,
He got 19 points last week, though.
I know he did.
Oh, a quick question before I get up out of here. Gardner Minshew or Bryce Young?
Oh, Lord.
Who should I get? Young is playing. The Panthers are playing the Chiefs, and the Raiders are playing. Yep. But the Chiefs can't score offensively.
Right. Yeah.
And the Raiders are playing the Broncos. The Broncos don't give up points.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I was hoping you would have helped me, but thanks a lot, Peachy. Everybody, thank y'all so much for tuning in to What's Your Fantasy. We'll be back next week to go over Week 13's waiver wires. Again, do not forget to hit that like button if this is your first time watching. Thanks. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And thanks for watching What's Your Fantasy. Enjoy the out. Hey, look. Ruining dreams under pressure. Peachy be the one to bless ya, but don't test her. The queen reigns supreme, you know what I mean? Add the boy Breezy, Prince, like a king. When the two come together in any weather, they form a bond, stay tight in any measure. So it's my pleasure, the #1 team. Let the world know what's your fantasy.